From Westfield State University, The Parliament with Nick Odell. Featuring tonight, Social Media with Sean, and Drew's News Update, and Rebecca Squared, Whip City Sports, and Dealing with Dave. And now, here's your host, Nick Odell.
Hello, I'm Nick Odell, and welcome to yet another edition of The Parliament. Now, you may notice something different about my outfit today. I'm not wearing the traditional suit and tie that I usually wear on the show. Instead, I'm wearing casual clothing. Now, there's a story behind this unusual circumstance. You see, I was riding the bus to school today, as I usually do. I was wearing my suit and tie. All of a sudden, the bus broke down as we were approaching the center of Westfield, and we were forced to evacuate. I waited along with others for about an hour, and I was already late to class, so I said, forget this, I'm walking. So I started walking, and when I got to Stanley Park, I had already missed all of my classes, so I decided to take a nature walk with my suit and tie on. It's the middle of winter, and I like the scenery, so I asked myself, why not? As I was walking through the woods, I spotted a mean grizzly bear. The bear made eye contact with me and roared and started chasing me. The bear tore a big portion of my dress shirt and tie with his claws, leaving just a little scar on my back, fortunately. Don't worry, I had a shirt underneath my dress shirt. As I ran out of the woods, the bear stopped and went the other way. When I managed to get back to campus, I went to health services to get treatment on my scars. After that, I threw away my ruined suit. So that's why I'm wearing casual clothing today instead of my suit and tie. All right, we have a great show for you guys tonight. Coming up, we have Sports Roundtable, Rebecca Squared, Dealing with Dave, and the always entertaining Kelly's Corner. I'm Nick Odell, and this, my friends, is The Parliament.
Hi, my name is Pete, and I'm going to give you the news as quickly as possible. Harvard tells professors to stop sleeping with undergrads. Action movement ban in Paris after terror attacks. Argentina's president mocks Chinese accent during visit to China. World's email encryption software relies on one guy who's going broke. Woman with service kangaroo asked to leave McDonald's. The guy's name's Jimmy. NBC's Brian Williams admits he misremembered being in a helicopter shot down in Iraq. New Japanese hotel to be staffed by robots. Twitter CEO, we suck at dealing with abuse. Republican congressman demands number change for Bill 666 because of Satan. And I guess I'm done. Can I go home now?
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
Hi, welcome to Rebecca Squared. I'm Rebecca, and this is Rebecca.
Valentine's edition.
This one's for you, fellas.
So take notes.
When it comes to Valentine's Day, it can be hard buying a gift for your loved one.
Because women always overthink.
As much as women love chocolate, don't buy her a box of chocolates because she'll eat it in one day, and then you'll have to hear about how she feels fat for the rest of 2015.
And men, don't buy her balloons because she'll think she's an airhead.
Don't buy her perfume because then she thinks she smells.
Don't buy her clothes because you guys don't have style.
Don't buy her a long card because she doesn't want to spend all day reading it and it's just a waste of her time.
And don't buy flowers because they just die.
Wait, so what are you supposed to get them?
So what do you get them?
Well, women love to be pampered, so you can never go wrong with a manicure or a pedicure.
And get a massage, but not from you, someone professional.
And if you're single, it's totally okay. Just don't wear Valentine's Day colors. We're all black.
And Netflix is always available.
And go to CVS February 15th and buy the discounted candies.
And you could even wrap yourself a gift and say from your secret admirer so all your friends are jealous.
And Chinese food is always the best when you go on a date by yourself.
I'm Rebecca, and she's Rebecca. Stay tuned for more on the Parliament.
Hi, everybody, and at long last, welcome back to another edition of Whip City Sports. I need a really big round of applause because we haven't been here forever. So this one's got to take the big. Okay, thank you. All right, I, as usual, am Mike Drew. I'm joined by my two comrades today who are in some interesting get-ups, Nick Odell and Anthony Swenson. Look, we haven't done one of these in forever, so the rust is going to be in full force today, obviously,
yes,
especially from you two. But obviously, there's only one thing that we can talk about. We spent most of the year, guys, delving into football 24/7 on these segments. So we have to talk about Super Bowl 49. But before we start to do that, I do have to ask you, sir, what the meaning is here. Is that what exactly are you wearing under there?
Super Bowl
he's wearing. Can we get a round of applause for the shirt for the Super Bowl champs?
Yeah. You have to rep. You have to rep. After I've been talking trash all time on the Parliament, I have to rep.
So let's just talk about it, right? I mean, so obviously, I'll just start with the thing that was on my mind first coming in here today. Obviously, the ending of the game, everybody wants to talk about Pete Carroll and the decision not to run the ball from the half-yard line. And Pete Carroll got chastised for that in the media, and he took the beating, and he should have. All right? I mean, it was a terrible play call. But what I didn't like was in the immediate aftermath of the game, how that completely overshadowed what Malcolm Butler did at the end of the game. I mean, that play is all Malcolm Butler. Yep. That is one of the most miraculous plays you're ever going to see, ever. I don't think Darrelle Revis makes that play. I've said it. I don't think Revis makes the play that Butler made at the end of the game. You can't coach what he did. You can't teach what he did. It was just complete instincts. He put himself out there. I mean, you talk about the guts to just undercut the route in that situation. He could have very easily gotten beat if the guy pulls an Edelman move and tries to run a fade to the corner all of a sudden. I can't say enough about what Malcolm Butler did. I still can't believe it to this day. I can't believe that happened.
There's only one word to describe that ending to that game. That is wow. I mean, you know, one of the best finishes in Super Bowl history, if not the best Super Bowl finish in Super Bowl history. One of the best games I've ever seen. Malcolm Butler as I said, did a great job of jumping the route and reading that play all the way. So
he had a great game altogether. 3 tackles, good deflections on very tall receivers that Seattle have. But at that one play, and I got to disagree with you, Mike, because you said it's not coachable. That play was 100% coached. Because during the whole 2 weeks beforehand, they practiced that goal line defense right there against that Seattle team.
Well, I will give you that the secondary coach actually ran Malcolm Butler onto the field 2 plays before that because he hadn't been in there. And remember, Kyle Arrington was in the game the majority of the night covering Chris Matthews, who was 6'5". We saw how that turned out.
Yes, we did.
So that was what also amazed me at the end of the game there. If they're going to throw a ball, why don't they throw it to Chris Matthews on a fade in the corner? It's going to be Plexico Burress all over again.
Let's go back to Carroll's decision for a minute. And Carroll did something similar to this back when he was coaching USC, back in the 2006 BCS National Championship game against Texas. He went with his backup running back. I believe his name was Lendale White?
Lendale White, yeah.
Yeah, Lendale White instead of Reggie Bush on a 4th and 2 play.
Yeah, that was questionable. So. It was. We're getting close on time, so I want to morph this into what else we have to get into here. Obviously, look, the thing that comes out of this for me more than anything, I think so many people are much more appreciative this time around of this title. I know I am. I was reading an article the day after, or 2 days after, whatever it was, that the city of Boston has now won 9 championships in the last 15 years. 9 in the last 15 years. You can't fathom this era that we're in, and the era that the Patriots are in. For 10 years, we've been talking about, can they get to number 4? 10 years,
yes.
And now we have it.
It's a very good accomplishment.
My feeling of it is that Peyton Manning, Tom Brady discussion is 6 feet under right now. Peyton Manning should go out on the field on a walker and just play this next season, get his money, and retire. He's not going to win another Super Bowl, and Brady's the GOAT of the NFL right now and of all time.
GOAT meaning greatest of all time.
Greatest of all time.
Not the other GOAT.
No, not the other GOAT.
Okay. I knew we weren't going to get through this segment without controversy. So we're running up against time. One-word answer, yes or no. Is Tom Brady the greatest quarterback of all time? Nick?
Yes.
Absolutely, 100% yes.
I said one word, you broke the rule. We're done. We got to get out of here. We can't go over time. So we thank you all for tuning in to this. We're glad to be back here after such a long time. Patriots are Super Bowl champions. We can't ask for anything more than that to come back here on the Parliament. So for Nick and Anthony and everybody else, I'm Mike. We will see you whenever the next time is here on the Parliament. Thanks for watching, everybody. More show coming.
What's up, Westfield? Welcome to another thrilling installment of Social Media with Sean. As always, I'm your host, Sean Leary, and I just want to say thank you for taking a break from Trivia Crack to watch our show. Today I've got the Yik Yak trending topic, songs you shouldn't play at a funeral, and something I found on Reddit called Hold My Beer. But first, let's start with songs you shouldn't play at a funeral. First of all, I wasn't aware that people play songs at funerals. That's not really the mood. I mean, someone's dead. But nevertheless, I've decided to compile my top 5 favorite yaks from this trend for you lucky viewers. We'll start with number 5. Celebrate Good Times Come On. You must have been a wonderful person for them to play this one at your funeral. Coming in at number 4 is Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. That one's really specific, but if you really want to mess with people at your grandmother's funeral, that might be a serious consideration for a musical choice. Anyways, number 3 is Die Young by Kesha. Pretty self-explanatory. If they play this one at your funeral, you probably took Kesha way too seriously and got exactly what was coming to you. Number 2 is Best Day of My Life by American Authors. That one's just mean, and the DJ of that song at the funeral should probably be investigated for murder. And finally, number 1 is Things We Lost in the Fire by Bastille. That's pretty dark and depressing. The title says it all. With that, that's my top 5 favorite songs you shouldn't play at a funeral. But in addition to that, I believe the song Na 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 Na, Na 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 Na, Hey Hey Hey, Goodbye deserves an honorable mention. Next up, we have a new segment called Hold My Beer. It's basically videos of people attempting stupid stunts. The kind of stunts that you and your buddies try and do after a few beers and think, oh, that's totally a great idea. So, for example, you say to your buddy, hey man, hold my beer. I'm gonna try and ride this computer chair down a hill. Makes sense. As you can probably imagine, they don't typically end well. So without further ado, I present our first Hold My Beer moment, where a drunk guy gets the brilliant idea to climb up and try to ride a fake mounted bike 10 feet in the air.
Instruction. Dude, he's gonna crack his fucking head. You still gotta put your butt on that seat. Look at you. Oh, never mind.
Wow, that looked painful. Look out, Matt Hoffman, because that's the best BMX trick I've ever seen. Wall plant, drop to face plant. That's a pretty sick combo, man. But anyways, that's all the time we have left, so I hope you've enjoyed our second edition of Social Media with Sean. As always, I'm Sean Leary. Thanks again for watching, and we'll be back with more of the Parliament.
Across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, helping solve child hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
everybody, and welcome back, first of all. Welcome to another edition of Dealing with Dave. There you go. Great. Now, it's been a long winter break, but it's great to be back. On today's show, we are going to talk about two things. But first, let me get to my panel. An entirely new panel. Usually have the same people on the show, but we're mixing it up this time. I'm going to start here. To my left, we have Miss Miss May Randall. Now next, Sarah, I don't know your last name.
Wiley.
Sarah Wiley next. And then down at the end, we have Sean Leary. I know your last name.
Thank you.
Sorry, Sarah. Okay, so on tonight's show, we're going to be talking about a couple things, like I said. First, really important topic, Cheetos debate. Crunchy or puffy Cheetos? May, I'm going to start with you.
Okay, 100% crunchy, no argument. The puffy ones are messier. You can't put as many in your mouth at the same time. The crunchy ones are just fun and unique individuals on their own.
Good points. Sarah?
Well, the last time I had them, they were puffy. So, like, it's kind of, it can go either way for me. I haven't had the crunchy ones in a while, though. So it depends. It really depends.
You got to choose out of the two. Which do you prefer?
I'm going to do crunchy just because I haven't had them in a while, and I miss them.
All right. Sean?
I'm all puffy. You can savor the flavor. They got more powder on them, and they melt in your mouth perfectly.
I disagree. I think the crunchy ones have more powder on them. Like, when you're eating them and then you're done, you definitely have more orange on your fingers after the crunchy.
Like, have you ever had like the little crunchy bits that are left at the bottom of the bag after you finish a bag of crunchy Cheetos?
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on.
Not my thing. No, puffy ones.
Puffy? That's just air. It's air with cheese on it. You're not even eating anything.
You can get a whole big one of them that's this big and eat the whole thing, and you'll be fine.
I don't understand you. We're not friends anymore.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So now that's kind of been squared away, I guess. Sean's kind of the outcast here. I'm a crunchy fan myself. We're going to move on to our next topic, which is the representation of gender roles in cinema. May, start with you.
Well, there are so many issues involved with gender in cinema to begin with. I can't even cover any of them in a whole, but what I will say is there is an extreme underrepresentation of females, I guess. And it's seen in all areas: directing, producing, acting, etc. Females are extremely underrepresented. Represented?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think that's the right word.
And it needs to change. What do you think, Sean, from a male perspective?
Well, I mean, while we're at it, I think we should talk about the over-sexualization of Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone. Don't laugh. No, I'm serious. The way those two older guys looked at him, they wanted to get him, and I think we all know what that meant.
I think that just means that you have a skewed view of the film if you're taking it that way instead of just a fun-loving movie of two guys trying to steal some stuff.
I guess just like the Cheese Puffs.
No, nothing like the Cheese Puffs.
Okay, never mind that.
What is Macaulay Culkin up to? Can we talk about Macaulay Culkin for a sec? What has he been doing with
I
his
read
life?
on Twitter a couple months ago that he died.
He
But
died?
that wasn't true.
He's not dead.
No, I like ran out of my room and like up to my friend's room and I was like, Macaulay Culkin's dead, and we believed it for like an hour, and then they were like, no, someone just faked his death
So
on Twitter.
it was one of those like Twitter, oh, he got into a skiing accident kind of thing.
I don't know what it was. It was just like I saw someone say like Macaulay Culkin's dead, and I didn't like try to like look up a second like reference. I just like went with it, and it wasn't true. He's very much alive to my knowledge.
It's one of those names that if somebody says like Macaulay Culkin's dead for a second, what? Who's that? And then finally clicks. Home Alone kid. Okay, Sarah, we got to get your take on the representation of genders in cinema.
I would just want to see more like stronger female characters in movies, I think, because there's not a lot of them. I just want to see like one like really good movie with like one really awesome, strong female lead.
And if they're strong, they're seen as bossy or manipulative or rude, and there's so many other negative connotations that are portrayed by strong female characters a lot.
That's where I will agree with you, May.
Thank you.
You're
And sometimes they're seen as, you know, not really feminine, which is an issue in itself.
All good points. Well, that's it for Dealing with Dave tonight. Glad you guys could join us. Make sure to tune in next week for another exciting edition of The Parliament, Dealing with Dave, Cheetos debate. We might talk about that again. Who knows? But in any case, thank you for tuning in. Till next time.
Dude, I made the mistake of trying.